Wow, indeed. that we were close. I told her we need to go. She was saying we go as a group. I said no, not as a group. Let's go two of us, and then we.
Treasure and Nigeria person.
Of course, we are not going to eat people's money.
Where was the treasurer's bag?
So we go to Silver Springs. We reached there. Silver Springs was not magnificent as it is now, but it was a cool place. So we sit there. I started sharing my plans and telling her how I was mature, how I wanted somebody to settle with, and she immediately told me those things.
No.
After graduation, I said, yes, it's okay, because I'm also studying. I want to graduate, but in my heart, I thought I can even marry now, but because I can manage, yeah. So she said,
Wow, I know you enjoyed their memory.
He's called Alex. So Alex was told to take me to a class because orientation, with freshers you don't know much. So Alex takes me to that class. We had the timetable showing rack I. I even remember the class, rack I. So when we reach, me, I thought you knock, secondary school things. I thought you knock, then you enter. But Alex just entered and picked someone. This someone who moved out had a tie. This was Duncan actually. He had a tie. The man was very smart. Me, I thought that was the teacher. So we interact as he mentioned. Then he says, you come. I sit next to him. But at the back of my mind, I'm like, Nga people here are very smart. Now, poor me, I didn't have a lot. That's the truth. I didn't have a lot. Poor me, how will I manage? Those were my thoughts in the very first lecture. So the lecturer moves out and he gives me reception. He's like, I can help you, like the way he mentioned. So what attracted me to him, I'm trying to answer your question, is that number one, he cared to a stranger. In my opinion, he didn't know me, neither did he know the one who had brought me. But he received me the way I was. Fun as I was looking, because when I look back how I looked, like, oh my goodness, the grace of God has been sufficient. Yes. So he cared for a stranger and ensured that I fit in class. Number two, I had always wanted a gentleman, someone who is presentable. The man had a tie. I want to make this. I know he may not like it, but he's a man or a student who would come to class in a tie every day up to Friday, Monday to Friday.
Wow.
Sometimes, yes. And
That was so good.
no wonder you are seeing how he is. That's him. So for me, I decided to, I was like, I think he's too gentle, given what I've been seeing. The other thing is that him having managed our finances as a group, as he mentioned,
The treasure.
we didn't have any issues. He was very transparent and accountable. And I didn't want someone who beats around the bush in my life. So among the key things that I felt he has, which I had witnessed in that group, was transparency and accountability. But also he was very generous. As he mentioned, when he got that car from his brother, he would drop all of us in the group. He drops me in Nakawa. We had a friend in Chariwajara called Florence. She's currently the senior procurement officer, Mitoma district. He would drop her. I mean, he was too generous. He wouldn't ask us money. So I was like, I think this man has all that I need. I don't want stingy people, yeah? So in a way, yes, I was like, I think this is the right man. So that actually attracted me to him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Comfort puts it plainly. I didn't want stingy man.
Yeah. Life is short. You have to enjoy it. Yeah.
This is such a very, very interesting story, and I'm very excited about it. But also, I would want to know, these days during proposals, we see people one knee on the ground, flowers everywhere, pictures all over the world. So what was that trendy thing that you were doing during your time?
But Clare, you know, one thing I liked about her, she was down to earth. She was a villager like me. Because me, I was fearing the city girls. So those things of proposing with flowers.
Comfort was against stingy men.
Because I was looking at somebody who can, we go to the village and she digs, she can mingle caro, not those bit of chips and what, no. So proposing with flowers and what really was not our thing. We didn't have that in mind. No, we were.
To comfort. There were no calls of,
By the way, Comfort, you would take her to the canteen. And you ask what should they give you, juice and bogoya. I mean, she was that person. Huh? She was that person, and so you. But for me, I would know that at least I'm sure that I love her. I can manage to buy her something, but that's her choice.
So you bought the bogoya and
yes,
finished them from
and
the
canteen. And once in a while, you go to very point. That place no longer exists in an area. For some pork, yeah, we would go with our friends those first days, but later on, we would go together and have some pork. Yeah.
I really, really enjoy your story, and I love it. Those days it was
communication, meaning that they will love you the way you are. Despite your weaknesses, once God has said A will happen, it will happen. Your role is to pray for God's will, because Matthew 6:33 says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all other things will be added unto you. Seek the Lord and marriage will come.
Wow,
May the Lord bless you.
wow. Wow, this is so exciting. This is blessing. This is such a very, very good show. Thank you, the Tumuhamyes. If you're a Clare, please come out as a Clare, not as a Rihanna, Manyakim Kamtashian, Manyahu. This is such a very exciting show. And of course, dear viewer, thank you very much for loving Church of Uganda Family TV, and thank you for loving how we made show. And again, like I said, I really thank you very much for supporting this show. The youth ministries in different churches, the campuses, Makere, Moobs, Chambogo, UCU, UMI, everywhere. You love this show. We are so grateful. And they say in Greek, Tusima. Nyo. Thank you very much. The Lord bless you. I remain Clare Bwenje, and right now I leave you with Before You Say I Do, Counselor's tip with the Katwe Heyos. God bless you. It is a bye-bye. I love you from the deepest part of my heart. Bye. Cheers. Before You Say I Do, and today we'll be looking at why are you even considering marriage? Why marriage anyway? And would like to explore that actually God is the author of marriage, so he's the one who gives us the direction and the why for marriage, right?
That's true. Yes, so thank you very much. My wife, I would say that Dr. Miles Monroe said that where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. So before you say I do, it's good to consider, it's good to know, it's good to appreciate why marriage, the purpose, what is the purpose of marriage. Otherwise, if you don't know where you're heading, you'll abuse it. I mean, any road will be as good as you take it. I mean, and you'll definitely get nowhere. Yeah, so take us on.
Yes, so from the author of marriage, looking at we look at three key aspects which we believe sum up the many that purpose that marriage is for. And one is mutually completing one another. The Bible talks about it's not good for a man to be alone, and when God sees that, he brings a suitable helper. So the need to complete one another, that is a man being completed by a woman and not any other way. So that is one of the key purposes why marriage is there, to bring two people together to complete one another. And the second one is
maybe just before you get to the second one, so when I am a single young man, are you saying that I am incomplete, or what are you saying?
the reason why you eventually become unstable and you are looking for someone is because you are
there's a certain part of me that I need to find. A rib was taken out of Adam. Yeah, but I would say that every individual has strength but also has weaknesses.
Yes.
So when you talk about mutually completing one another, you find that, for example, there are certain things I'm not good at, some are weaknesses, which are her strength. So she mutually completes me.
Yes.
And also vice versa, that there are some things I may be good at that she may not be good at. Then we come together and form a formidable team.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the first one of the first things that we will talk about why marriage, to mutually complete one another. We are
And
going on.
that is
Yes.
according to God's perfect plan, who is
Yes.
the author of marriage. And then the second purpose is to raise a godly legacy, a godly offspring. We strongly believe and know that children are raised in a family. So God brings together two people so that together they can raise an offspring that is godly. And we understand that some people may not have children biologically, but still God wants to place some children in two people's lives so that they get a picture of a husband and a wife, of which we know that actually the husband and the wife, that union, more like it mirrors
Yes.
the Christ and the church. Yes.
Yeah, so you talked about the certain couples. We know them. Some may not have yet been blessed with biological children. But you know, especially us in the African setting, you have children. You have your brother's children, some of us who are firstborns, maybe even you're raising your own siblings.
Yes.
So when you talk of a child, it may not necessarily be biological. And you know, there's also the provision for adopting.
Yes.
We know a number of couples who have adopted children, and if you're not told that these children were adopted, actually you would never know, you would never figure it out. Yeah, so the aspect of raising, multiplying a godly legacy. By the way, you know, the first place for learning on this earth is the home.
Yes.
The first place for discipleship is at home. So go ahead and tell us about purpose number 3.
Yes, and the third purpose
Yes.
is mirroring God's image.
Mhm.
After being married for some time, I realized that in a marriage setting, you have the opportunity to practically experience some of these things. When we talk about unity, when we talk about humility, when we talk about servant leadership, talk about forgiveness,
Yes.
that is one place where you have the opportunity to actually practice these
Yes.
disciplines that the Bible teaches us, and which, of course, we know that Christ has graciously granted to us, forgiveness, loving us.
Yes.
So marriage is like that practical place where you do the practicals
Yes.
of living the Christian life. And I believe that that is why marriage comes, because it is meant to grow us and to shape us and to make us better people anyway.
Exactly.
So that is the other purpose, that it gives us the opportunity to mirror the picture of Christ and the church.
Yeah, sure. So before you say I do, it's important to know the purpose of marriage. One, we've talked about mutually completing one another, multiplying God's legacy, and then mirroring God's image. So be blessed.